nigga suicide. Ain't no room for you and I. That's whoever do apply.
Hey yo, what's poppin', everybody? We here to talk again. So on this podcast, I answer a lot of DMs I be getting and questions, and and I try my best to answer them. I've been in a lot of realms of my industry for a long time, so I feel like I had an experience that I should share with a lot of artists. I see a lot of mistakes. I see a lot of, issues, my bad, not just with artists, with every lane, every lane of entertainment except comedy and porn. So like, what I'm saying, whether it's modeling or videography, engineers, studios, marketing, promotion, whatever, I got keys. You know what I'm saying? So every episode, like I said, I like to give some bewares and some awares, some stuff to try to stay away from, some red flags. And then on the other hand, like, some good things, some, when you hear it or see it, it's like, okay, look into that. You know what I'm saying? That's a positive sign. So, like what I want to start with today is like, I had a response to a question that I had answered that we wanted more detail, and it's the difference in managers. This isn't necessarily saying a manager is bad or a manager is good, but like the difference in managers in different genres. So there's a lot of people that run around acting like they all around. They just got the right things for you before even knowing your direction or knowing how you're different, where your position in the industry is. So everybody has a different position and a different direction, a different message, whatever. So when when you're looking for a manager and somebody has a lot of experience with hip hop artists, and then you're a pop artist, that might not be the best fit for you. And I know I'm saying stuff that sounds like common sense, but people don't do this. People got managers who are big in fashion or big on I don't know, photos or just anything else, but if it's a pop artist, pop music. So because they're different, some of the things that you have to do and look for are aligned, but there are big differences. So you work with a trap and hip hop ain't even the same. Say you work with a trap manager that's used to managing trap artists or gang music or murder music, drill music, whatever, and say you're a pop artist. So the example is a pop artist. Obviously you're not going to bring this pop artist to these trap clubs. That should be obvious, right? They do it. And they say, oh, your music's going to break up the vibe. It's going to break up the vibe, whatever. We're not looking for that 5-minute switch up. We looking for where are people most likely to enjoy and research and look up your music. Become a fan, become a long-term listener. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the club or something, and this isn't nervousness or anything, but when it's time to perform, it's like y'all obviously not feeling this, and it's not because the music isn't good. It's because this isn't what y'all came for, if that makes sense. And I experienced this a lot in Atlanta. It's like all the local music is like, a lot of trap, a lot of strip club stuff, blah, blah. Then you come in there and you spit some lyrics that they can't even hear in the club environment. And it's like, oh, this is a beat that you play in your earphones this is a song that you listen to when you jog, when you're at the gym or whatever. Not really a strip club song. You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of managers that don't realize this. They will still bring this pop artist to this club, or this hip hop artist to this, this hood club, and they'll do it vice versa also. But sometimes it works vice versa. But, that's a big piece. Clubs, when the manager is a different genre, that's a big example. But also on like marketing, you know, this is why you really have to expand your resources, um, because when it comes time to, let's say, promote your single, you know there are a lot of platforms that specialize in, that focus on like all genres, but there are a lot of platforms that focus on single genres. Platforms you've never even heard of, magazines you've never even heard of, blogs you've never even heard of, that are big, but you haven't heard of them because they're not in. You're looking at the hip hop genre because honestly, I think that's like the most. Everybody knows about all the hip hop stuff, like World Star and Shade Room and stuff like that, like Double XL. Like, we all know about that, but I wouldn't necessarily go to them first. Say you were a pop artist. You know, do you think you would have a bigger impact on World Star, or um, what's a good pop platform? I'm not gonna dwell on that. You know what I mean? It's World Star Hip Hop. Yes, it's a massive platform, but people go there for something specific. So there are a lot of managers that don't realize that. So when it comes time to actually do something with you, actually release your music and strategize, whatever, you know, they're saying stuff like, all right, we're gonna drop the video on World Star, then we're gonna do a show, blah blah, and it's like, no, that you're not gonna get the most back from that strategy. They don't realize that. So I just say that to say, like, when you talking to management and talking to labels and whatever, make sure they have expertise in your genre, in your field, what you want to be, the direction you want to go. Make sure that expertise is there. And of course, it's about being patient. Like, you're gonna have to sit down with a lot of people. Maybe not in pop, because there's a lot of in pop, but I mean, like, you know, the first one might not be the best fit for you. So be aware of that. Like, that's super important. Okay, another big topic that I had mentioned that um, I get a lot of responses to is, what do I mean by there's two industries? Um, the two industries I'm talking about are, one is, I would say, successful. This is gonna line up the third topic, which is making it. But the second, you know, is the two industries. So one is like successful, and when I say successful, I mean, if I bring this person up, you know this person. The other industry is, you're making a substantial amount of money to support yourself off music and everything, but you're not known. This is, I would say they're equal, because this is, obviously a point that a lot of people want to reach, to be fine, living off of music, whatever. But also, most people want notoriety too. I'm not talking about clout. I'm not talking about fame. I'm talking about notoriety. Everybody knowing you. So there's different approaches to both industries. Neither are wrong. So like an approach you would take to where you want notoriety, you're getting more exposure with like platforms. So like the blogs and different stuff like that, versus putting all your attention in one city. Now, hear me out. When you put all your attention in one city, like my homie had said this, and to think that you're gonna go to another city, move to another city, say you're from Philly or something, and you move to Atlanta or LA or whatever, and to think that you're about to take over that city, it's kind of nonsense. It's kind of nonsense, because there are people that grew up there that have built their base there. There's people that will come to see them. There's people that will pay to see them. There's people that are paying top dollar for features. There are people that are constantly trying to work with them because they had so much time there. Imagine how many people you meet on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? All of them are aware of you in your area over time as you work. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of a different industry, because this person, has notoriety almost everywhere he goes. Somebody's going to recognize him, but he doesn't have a foundation in any city. Yes, he could be making money. They could be making the same amount of money. Yes, he could be have attention, but there's nowhere that you're going to feel it the most. Let me take the last part out. There's nowhere that you're going to feel it as much as you should. So I have always been that artist, to where I focus on my budget and spending and promotion and all that nationally, instead of picking one city. There's no wrong way to do it. Now, the person that's locally known, he's making a lot of money. He's making a lot of money. He's sustaining himself on music. He's getting booked at all the clubs around here. He's getting all the features, and everybody's trying to work with him in this place. So he's making a lot of money, but he's not nationally known. So the reason I say it's two industries is most people don't know about both industries. So when you meet a manager or something, he either operates like this or he either operates like this. One of two. He doesn't even know the difference. He doesn't even know that there's a different way to do it. You know what I'm saying? If it's a LA manager where all his resources and connects and all of this are in LA, he's going to be blowing you in that market most likely. He's going to be focusing his attention on that market. But if it's somebody that's, been working with, very large names or very large platforms or whatever, and has moved around, it's like, oh no, I'm going to focus nationally. And this is why, you have to reach a certain point to experience this. But like, this is why sometimes a lot of the companies that I've talked to or tried to work with, they'll have options to where they'll do regional campaigns. Like this radio company, for example, they'll do regional campaigns, and they'll do national campaigns. Now, you would think the national campaigns are more expensive. They're not. The regional campaigns cost more than the national campaign. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they know you're going to make more money if you focused everything regionally. So, you know what I mean? There's no right way and there's no more expensive way. They're both winning, strategies. But you have to make a decision on which one you want. Do you want to not be able to walk around locally? I'll say that as a good thing, where it's like everywhere you go, somebody knows you in this city. Or do you want to be somebody who's rarely seen? I know who you are, but odds are I'm not going to run into you. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference in the industries, and that brings me to the third topic, sort of, kind of. I've always told my homies and people I work with that there's no actual, hear me out, there's no actual make it point where they say, oh, he made it. I don't believe that exists. I believe it all has to do with the amount of promo behind something. So, for example, Drake or Kendrick Lamar or something, they're still spending on promotion. Every release, 20, 15, 10 years in, they're still spending on promotion. So with that being said, if they didn't spend on promotion, what do you think a Kendrick Lamar record would do without promotion? Now, I'm being generous by saying it'll crack 1 million. Honestly, no promotion, where he just post a song. And we're just talking first week. You know, it'll crack 1 million over time, but we're just talking first week. Probably won't touch 1 million. With promotion, probably 10 million, 100 million. They promote them all. So the reason I'm saying this is, let's say they put $250,000 in promotion. An underground, not an underground, an upcoming artist, let's say they drop their first single, and they have $250,000 to put behind their song also. Their song may hit 10 million views. Kendrick's song may hit 1 million without promotion. You see what I'm saying? So there wasn't actually a make it. It was just how much spend is there for this project. You know what I'm saying? Let's say there was an anonymous artist where you never see this person's face. You have no idea who this is. Every song they release, it has no artist in the title, but they put $250,000 behind each record. So each record, most likely, each record is going platinum, going gold, whatever. Each one that he releases. Has he made it? No, you don't even know who it is. But he's hitting those made it numbers. Or vice versa, a major artist, let's say somebody like somebody that's dope, but may not be having millions pumped into their work. Somebody like Fabulous or something. You know, Fabulous, if he just continued dropping records with no promotion, do you think those numbers will be higher than the person dropping $250,000 on every song? Not at all. Let's be realistic. So that's why I don't believe there's a made it point. It's just always, what's the spend on this project? What we spending on this project? Yes, having fans helps. Yes, having followers helps. Yes, having momentum works helps. But all I'm doing right now is comparing. All I'm trying to say is the comparisons means there's no made it. You know what I'm saying? So kind of decipher that however you want to, but it makes sense when you think about it. It's common sense. So without there being a make it point, that will allow you to always focus on how much you're putting behind the song, what resources are behind it, who's going to post it, who you're going to get to feature on it, whatever. You'll always focus on that instead of, oh, I made it, so my next project going to blow up. My next project not blow up. My next project going to do good because I made it. There is no made it. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so I just want to dive into a couple bewares. The first, and this is gonna be a lot of people's favorites, but we've all encountered this. This is a major red flag, and I'm gonna break it down why. Stay away from or interpret on your own the I do everything people. The people who say they do everything. You know, I used to believe, because I actually did everything, and I don't mean did it at a 1. I did everything at a 10. There are people that do that, like Kanye, for example. His clothing line is not minuscule. His producing is not minuscule. His rapping is not minuscule. They're all 10s. So there are people that have put the time in to be able to say that. But nowadays, everybody is a I do everything. And oh, I record all my own music. I mix and master all my stuff. I'm a photographer. I'm a videographer. I do everything for real. Everybody is I do everything right now. They all say it. And they'll get to a point later in their career, hopefully after hearing this earlier in their career, that is not a good thing. That is not a positive statement. There are a whole lot of reasons why, and I'm going to explain a couple. One being, when you have, let's say there's a record that you're working on in the studio. You did everything on it. You created it, you recorded it, you mixed and mastered it, you put it out, whatever. There's nobody involved in that record. In an industry of collaboration, there's nobody involved in that record. No help. Everybody you want to help, you probably got to pay. Because they're not a part of it. They don't feel a part of it. Nobody was a part of it. Not look at it on the other hand. You're in the studio and there's a producer whose dream is producing. I'm not just talking about a beat maker, a producer where all this dude does is make beats. There's an engineer. This dude went to school for 6 years to be this engineer. And he's doper than you because you didn't. Don't take that to heart. There's a videographer. He's filming it because he needs his portfolio. There's managers in there. It's like, I can make sure all of this goes together. I can make sure everybody gets their paperwork and their cut and this, that, blah, blah. And this room is full of these 10 different positions of people who were involved in the song. Now, when the song drops, everyone's behind it. This person's following from engineering is hearing this. This person's following from producing is hearing this. This person's videography following is seeing this creation and learning about you and learning about everybody else in the room at the same time. So all of that is brought to the table just from you getting people involved in the project. Now, you want to trade all of that you're probably working towards in the first place. You want to trade all of that to boost your ego and say, I do everything. I'm not impressed. Because point number 2, I know that every single position in entertainment, in every industry, is a full-time job. You cannot downplay these positions. Like I said in the last segment, like there are videographers that spend 6, 7, 8 years learning, experiencing. They know every function of this camera. There are things like experience that you can't rush. You can't do part-time. You cannot do everything full-time. The definition of full-time. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody says, I do everything, I know 99% of the time, that's not quality. Then I hear the music. It's like, you should stop recording yourself. You should stop making your beats. You should stop shooting your videos. Because the quality's not there. You only did it to say you did it. I can't tell you how many artists I know now own cameras, now own their studio stuff, now are, making their beats. Like, stop doing it. It's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. Only people that have been, this is all from experience. Only people that have been in their, in this industry for more than 10 years, 15 years have mastered 1, 2, 3 skills, because it's how long it takes. They're full-time positions. And I always ask people, I'm like, would you rather pay somebody that's good, that knows how to do 10 things at a 1, or knows how to do 1 thing at a 10? I want to pay a bunch of 10s. You know what I'm saying? So That's big. And you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that I do everything guy. Because right then and there, it's like, what do you need me for? You're going to try to do my job. And people don't understand how much that offends people. When you run around interfering, like, if I'm mixing and you come over to the boards and you're like, you grabbing at the blah, blah, it's like, I'm offended. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I don't need your help. I'm a master at this. How long have you done this? That's what they thinking in their head most of the time. I see it in these people's faces. So when you try to do it, it's kind of like saying, you don't trust that I can do it for you. And again, this is all experience. I used to be that guy running around, send me the footage. I want to edit it, blah, like, and they're like, oh no, I don't send out the footage. This was back before everybody wasn't trying to do everything. And, it offends people sometimes. I never understood why till now, but I've gotten to a point where I'm respected. For real, I'm respected in multiple lanes where it's like, if I ask for the footage, they understand why, or they're trying to watch me edit the footage or whatever a lot of the time. So stop being the I do everything person. Like this, no one cares, honestly. No one cares that you can do everything or have tried to do everything. It's not impressive. It's only impressive to yourself. You see what I'm saying? So all it does is create jealousy most of the time and make people not want to work with you, whatever. Like, it's just no need. If you can do everything, just do it. Don't say it. If I say, what do you do? Tell me what your passion is. Oh, you're an artist? Leave it there. You don't have to say, oh, shoot, I do everything, blah, blah. Now I still don't know what you do. I still don't know what you do with that answer. Because everything can mean you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you're a basketball player. Like, please be more specific. What's your passion? What have you done the longest? That's what I'm going to use you for. So the next beware is obvious. I mean, everybody likes these still. I don't know why. A yes man. You really got to stay away from yes men. And yes man is not just somebody that's going to sit there and say, your song's great. Oh my God, your song's great. That's so dope, blah, blah. Obviously, you don't need people who only do that, because then you'll never improve. And that is the same thing as validation. If you know you're dope, leave it there. Everyone else will see it as you show it. If you're dope, you're dope. So, to think that you need somebody to tell you you're dope is kind of scary, because, a lot of people would either lie or not ever tell you that, even if they think you're dope. So stop searching for it. Stop relying on it. And, yes men are like robots. If I got a yes man in the studio, I don't even value your opinion. I know what your opinion is already, and you think it's dope. So it's just a robot. I don't need you around. So that's a pretty quick one. Like, just kind of stay away from yes men. That actually brings me to one of the something to be aware of, like, and to look for. I call them unemployed promoters. Like, you have friends, maybe not even, let me take that back, not even friends. You have people who promote you when you're not around, and they do it on accident. They do it without even knowing they're doing it. They're at a house or whatever, a party or whatever, and they pick up the Fire Stick remote and they go to YouTube and they put your song on, and you're not even there. You don't even find out about it until somebody that was at the party said, "Oh yeah, such and such, put your song on, blah blah." You really got to pay attention to that, because 90% of your team, odds are, or the people you deal with, do it when you're around. That doesn't mean anything. You can do it yourself when you're around. I'm here. I can turn it on. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as they leave, they're never playing your stuff. They're never putting it on. They're never showing nobody. They're never talking about you. You know what I mean? It's like they only want to impress you. If they really believe in you, if they really want people to hear your stuff or whatever, or see your face, or see your videos, or book you, they'll bring you up when you're not around, to strangers, to unaware people. You know what I'm saying? That's obvious. And this is only something that reveals itself over time. This isn't something you can just learn about somebody the first time you meet them. It's like over time. You know what I'm saying? How many people have told me you showed them my stuff? So over time, that will reveal itself. You got to keep those people around, and then you got to, I guess, play chess with the people that, because even when you start paying people, you know who to pay. Just because somebody's a promoter don't mean they're a fan. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if your promoter that you're paying was a fan. He's going 10 times harder than a promoter that's just like doing the bare minimum, where it's like, all right, I just need some flyers and I need a couple $100 on social media promo. Versus the promoter that's a fan, it's like, hey, bro, look, I'm this dude's promoter now, and he's playing your music, to extra people, whatever. So you got to pay attention to that type of stuff. It's going to take a lot of spending and bad experiences in the beginning to get to that point where you find the right people. But, these are all, I give you these keys because it's all stuff that's like, if you start on it now, it's not going to take you long at all. Like, I wish I would have known all of this early in my career. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got for y'all today, for real. Like I say, hit my DMs. Anything you want me to talk about, any questions you want to answer, anything you want to know about me, whatever, just hit my DMs. I'm gonna talk about it in the next segment. These are real keys, and this is not just from me. I'm just mixing my experience with common sense a lot of the time. And the people that like to argue with me aren't the creatives. They aren't the people that have to experience most of the stuff that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? They'll be the managers that can be, behind the computer or whatever. What I always say to people is like, you backstage at a concert, whatever, you got 30 motherfuckers back there, like 30 different roles. You got managers, you got the promoter, you got the choreographers, you got the, sometimes the producer, you got the security, you got like these 30 different positions backstage, all these moving parts, right? But when that show start at 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whatever, when the show starts, one person walks out on that stage. One person has to control that massive crowd. One person has to say the words right. Remember the words. What are you know what I'm saying? All the spotlight, all eyes are on this one person. So you getting these keys from that one person. I'm gonna give you the angle that nobody else can give you. When the spotlight is on you in real life, when the spotlight is on you in the studio, when the spotlight is on you in the meetings, when the spotlight is on you, when the contract hit, it's like, it's a different angle. It's a different angle. And my artists out there understand the stuff I say because this is their angle. You know what I'm saying? So, keep the peace, please. Pray every day. You know what I'm saying? Good day, good afternoon, good night. Till next time.
You can tell that I let Atlanta get to me. Say she fucking with me, but she ain't officially. I just don't know why she taking all these pics of me. You gon' have a lot of pussy niggas dissing me. So be it. God